Okay, guys, welcome aboard, everyone joining us today for this podcast. Really, really excited to have our good friend Robert Samborsky, owner of Apollon Nutrition. It's no secret that myself and Craig are good friends with yourself, Rob, for two reasons, really. One, obviously, you've had faith in us since the beginning. You've given us the opportunity to work on reviews with your brand before, and you have always put out really good products. There's no denying that. Anyone can look at the label and you can tell it's a fantastic product. And obviously, the other reason is you're very to the point, which is why we really enjoy doing these podcasts with you. They always are very, very interesting to watch, to put it at least. So we've got a list of questions that obviously we've gathered up throughout the last couple of weeks from some of our following. We're going to be rolling through those questions.
So we'll start off with quite a nice, friendly question. And would you say Assassin V7 is the best one yet?
It's well, first of all, guys, thank you, and the respect is 100% mutual. Just like you said, we kind of started working together, and the friendship just when you guys got started, but Paul also just got started at that very time, and I appreciate all the love and support that you've given to the brand, even when others didn't. So the feeling is mutual. As for Assassin V7, it's very hard, to say whether it's the best one. I always think that the next one should be the best one, but it's, we had obviously interruption with DMA and DMHA, and, kind of like trying to keep up with the government guidelines and restrictions. You can agree or disagree with certain things, but at the same time, law is the law, and there is not much you can. You have to obey it, especially if you are to stay in the market, and if you to stay, um, if you want to keep up with the latest trend, so to speak, and what's allowed and what's not allowed. So obviously, if you want to stay in a business, you have to keep it to keep up with it. To me, V7 is the best one for a few reasons. Reason number one, it tastes the best.
Yeah, very good.
I think that the mission's been accomplished in terms of improving on something that was almost mission impossible. But at the end, it's still about the performance. It's still about the ingredient. It's still about how it comes together. And I think this one is a little bit more user friendly. I think it doesn't slap you in the face, and it doesn't like alienate you to only a certain limited audience or limited customer base. I think this is a little bit more accessible to everyone. Um, I think this one feels a little bit better. It gives you a better overall feeling and better balance. So to me, yeah, this is the best one yet. Uh, but of course, the first ones with DMA and DMHA. This one basically has DMHA in a form of juglans. But yeah, I think this one is just if V6 was extremely strong and maybe overly strong for some people, including myself, I think this one is a little bit more user friendly. You can still go, still have 600 milligram of caffeine combined, have the alpha yo, which I think we didn't have alpha yo from number 1 to number 5, if I'm not mistaken. We only included alpha yo in a 6.1 and 6.5. So this one still has alpha yo. This one still has a shitload of caffeine. This one still has shitload of ingredients that are very, very strong stimulants. So if you're comparing it to V6 or V6.5, maybe it feels, and I'm very, very careful here to say maybe it feels not weaker, but maybe not as powerful or strong or aggressive. But I think overall, I mean, I think that Apollon is, like Shane said from Stacked, it is a king of hardcore. There's no arguments about it. It's a fact. But at the same time, what are you going to go? You're going to go from 600 to 700 to 800. We've done 700 with Hula.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary. You can make a better product that is still strong but well balanced.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
is more well balanced. So, yeah, personally for me, this one is the best one yet.
So besides from obviously our review that we put out the other week, what would you say the general feedback is? Is the feedback all pointing towards it's a better pre-workout?
You know, it's strange because every product that you put out there, regardless whether a review from a reputable channel like you or Fitness Deal News, it doesn't matter. You will always find someone to say something negative.
Mm,
I haven't seen anything negative yet. I
that's
mean,
really good. Mm,
did see a comment that it's not as strong as previous, but I don't view it as a negative comment either. So
No.
I haven't seen anything negative. I've seen negative comments on every product from every company. Assassin V7, I'm yet to see a negative. Same goes for Shogun. I'm yet to see a negative comment. I've seen
mm.
nothing positive. So, I mean, obviously, it's very, very cool. The sales on a V7 are the strongest sales of any previous Assassin bar. None.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I mean, you have Hooligan. Hooligan has kind of like, especially the fifth one, the last one. I hesitate to release the sixth because it's strange. V5, I thought that the sales are going to go maybe a little bit down with the release of Assassin, but no. I mean, it's. I think it's actually gaining popularity. I don't really think they compete against each other. They just such experiences.
Yeah, and obviously here in the UK, we've noticed, obviously with Herbert over at Unique Health Supplements, his even in the pre-order of Assassin, they were all gone in the pre-order. So before the
Yeah,
products even
yeah.
landed,
But before it even landed in UK.
he needed to get about 10,000 units just for himself, and they still would be selling. They still would be gone. It's crazy. It seems like Apollon Nutrition is expanding everywhere, which is really obviously very good to see.
Yeah, no, I mean it's amazing feeling to say the least. And again, I have to give credit where credit due is you guys, TJ, subs on deck, stacked. I mean the list goes on and on and on. Um, Garage Gym homie. I mean he's been stepping up quite a bit. I mean his channel is getting a lot of popularity and for a good reason. I think he's very unique. But I think that the overall love and respect that we've been getting is pretty tremendous. And, everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people perceive me as this aggressive, over the top person, but I'm not. I mean, I literally give credit where credit due. Everything it's definitely a team effort, and I think that I do listen to criticism, whether it's about taste or or how it feels, and I pay attention to it, with every um, new release, and you will see it with upcoming products of of favorite products, so to speak, but that have been updated or upgraded. I mean, we pretty much upgraded every freaking product this year.
Yeah.
And I do pay attention. I don't try to make stronger products because I honestly don't think that we need to. I think that anyone can as is, but I think that the make it all better.
While we're on the topic of Assassin, one of the questions we obviously did get is, will there be a version 8?
Yeah, actually, the formula for version 8 has been finalized already.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so I guess it's breaking news. There's
Yeah.
going to be a V8, and it was a very risky move, very, very risky move because I think V7 is just so good and so well received, but I couldn't resist on making it better because I think that as soon as the formula was finalized, actually my manufacturer sent me another flavor that I didn't ask for.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
Yeah, I didn't ask for. I mean, there were discussions about obviously another flavor because I don't think two will cut it. I think we can go three, four, five, just like we're gonna do with Hooligan. So he sent me another version, and then I said to him, you know what, I had this idea about tweaking some of the numbers on certain ingredients. I said, can you? And he said, he goes, in the same flavor. I said, to be honest with you, I don't give a shit what flavor it is. So he sent me the same one, and I had like maybe 3 or 4 samples, tried it, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it feels even better than this one. And I sent it to TJ. I was like, can you try this one? I sent it to him, and his feedback was like, whoa, this one feels even better.
Wow.
Yes, with
Nice.
and I think that I would say 99% it is finalized, that V8. It might be released as soon as maybe this year.
Bloody hell.
And a question we will have to ask, because everyone's going to want us to ask it, but you might not be able to answer it anyway, is what sort of changes are there going to be in version 8?
Oh, no. I mean, I told you guys that I'm going to be as transparent as I can be, even though I cannot disclose the formula fully. You know that I trust you, and I will send it to you to have a look. And we've done this before, and you always keep the secret tight. So I don't mind at all. But what I will say is, I honestly feel like it could be not a little bit stronger. I just feel that the focus aspect was so good on V7, and I looked into some data of 3 or 4 ingredients, and I figured out that it could feel maybe stronger but more euphoric at the same time. So the tweaks are not going to be necessarily. I mean, even if you look at V7 and V6, if you compare the two labels, it's not like going from from a tomato to a potato. It's
Yeah.
the same tomato, just grown slightly differently. And but I mean, you can't really change the format and the core of the product as is. So it's going to feel the same, just in my opinion, better. And of course, I'll give it to a few people to try, and just to make sure that we all on the same page. But V8 will definitely be out.
A question I've always wanted to ask, actually, Rob, about your formulations. When you, I know you've obviously had help before from a supplement engineer. Is it primarily your choice what goes into the formula, and is there anyone else that helps you out other than the supplement engineer? Has TJ helped in the past, or any other review channels, or anyone in general?
You know what? I was always not a fan. I know that there are certain brand owners, and despite again my reputation as being aggressive, I strongly disagree with it, because it's not aggressive. It's firm, decisive, and honest and straightforward. And if it comes off aggressive, typically it's aggressive. And I'm sure my aggressive side will come in this interview, probably in a little bit, because I know you guys are going to ask a question that definitely. But it's not about, when it comes to formula. Yes, I had a vision what Apollon has to be. So the vision is definitely mine. But when it comes to formulations, I'm not the one. Like, for example, there is right now a discussion of a certain product that I cannot disclose yet, because it's so not Apollon, that my marketing team kind of came up with, and they insist on, and I agree on releasing it maybe later this year or early next year. And the first thing I said, guys, this is not my strong point. Not something that I'm very good at, and I'm going to need help. I'm definitely going to need advice, but at the same time, at the end, it's not going to be compromised when it comes to full disclosure. It's not compromised when it comes to transparency. Thing like I actually had to walk away from a certain manufacturer, just because no matter what formula I would send, for some reason he will send me back a formula that is not mine, but something that he decided to change the numbers or the dosages and whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is not me. This is not Apollon. So it has to stay true to what we do. But at the end, I'm more than willing to, like, for example, it's easy to work with Robert Samborsky. We actually different perception when it comes to, for example, stimulants and whatnot. Not that we disagree, we don't. It just, as personal preference. I have my own personal preference when it comes to amount of stems and stuff like that. But he totally gets where Apollon comes from. He totally gets what Apollon represents. So it's a lot easier when I send him a formula that I came up with just for his his okay or his approval or his opinion. He is never shocked. He's never shocked because he knows approximately which way I'm going to lean toward.
Yeah, the direction.
And when it came to Assassin, the same thing was with DJ. We got on the phone and it was a discussion like, okay, 6.5 slaps hard. Right? I mean, even for a very strong stim junkie, it's a very strong product. So we said like, okay, he gave an opinion that why don't you lower alpha yo to 1.5 milligram, because he felt like it's a more normal range for an average person.
Yeah, more open.
More open to other markets, but it can still remain. Assassin can remain. We don't have to compromise anything. We just make it a better product for a wider range of people. And the same thing was actually, I talked to Justin, Supplement Snoop. He actually compared it to Assassin too, where we discussed T-Green. We always had T-Green in pretty much 3 or 4 out of the previous few formulas. And I didn't feel like it's necessary to have it. It's an extremely expensive ingredient, which I don't mind. I mean, as you can see, our products are expensive to manufacture. They're fully packed. Yeah. But I just feel like it adds anything. And I felt like removing that perhaps will open the doors to other ingredients that are more intact or in sync with the ingredients that Assassin consists of, like, for example, Jaguan Sergia. So, and Justin was like, yeah, you should remove it. It doesn't do shit in this formula. You're probably not even going to feel it. So, again, I'm open to ideas. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open always to talk to people that understand Apollon and where we come from, what we are trying to do. And as long, if somebody doesn't come and says to me, you should include 3,000 milligram of GABA in your pre-workout or 5,000 milligram of theanine, we are good. Against those ingredients, just in our products, they don't belong. And, you shouldn't be giving advice on something you don't understand.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I'm asking all the questions here, but have you got any more collaborations lined up in the future?
Yes. There are quite a few collaborations that are in the works. One I'm actually gonna, I guess, disclose because it's coming up very, very soon, and that's going to be finally collaboration with Branch Warren.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I feel like, somebody that brings his type of intensity to workouts, and, considering we partnered on an Apollon project and things have been going very, very smooth, and it seems like, Branch is definitely the type of person that fits the Apollon brand and what we represent the best. It was almost inevitable that we will do a product together, and that's going to be actually released sometimes in August. So it's coming up pretty soon. Obviously, get a lot of questions regarding FD and Assassin. That was despite the fact that 6.5 was so powerful and not everybody could handle it. Nevertheless, that was just flying. There was definitely demand for it. So TJ and I are discussing possibility of Assassin FDN, and I think very good chances that will happen in the near future. And pulling out, of course, we've talked about certain UK people that we might collaborate with too. So that is a possibility in the near future too.
Awesome. I think we've skipped over one. It says, did you get pissed with Price Plow naming Outbound pre-workout as the best hardcore pre?
Oh, he's in with the hard questions now.
Yeah, straight in with the main one.
I was besides myself. I was genuinely angry and very, very upset. But I was actually more upset than being upset, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I should have expected or should have predicted. And yet when I saw it, and it's actually a brand owner of another brand who actually sent me the link, because I don't pay attention to them. But, considering how much I dislike that channel, for some reason, people like to get under my skin, and they will always send me like little bits and pieces. Unfortunately, that shit works, because when I saw it, I was very upset. And a little disclaimer before anything is that I have nothing against that NutriBio brand Outbound. I think it's well formulated, even though I don't think Robert Chinetsky gets enough credit. It seems like Ben is taking all the credit to himself, but Robert was involved in formulation as well. So it can't be bad formulation. It can't, even though I see more of Ben's signature, but nevertheless, Robert was involved, so it can't be bad.
Mm.
I saw the formulas; they're pretty good. I really like the packaging. I thought the idea was good. I mean, it's not something that I would have done, and in the near future, I'll probably explain why. But I thought it was a clever idea. And let's be honest, other brand owners, they try other brands' product. We all do that research, and I never deny it. I even sometimes give props. I mean, look, I'm drinking Ghost right now.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not gonna attack you for the sake of attacking you. But if you're gonna lie openly and you're gonna step on my territory, I'm gonna have a. I don't want to sound like a threat or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not gonna. I'm not going to perceive it very favorably. I'm not going to be happy about it, because I don't give a shit what Ghost does. I don't give a shit what NutriBio does. I always believed, and they good brands. I always believe that everybody does the best they can, as long as you're not trying. I mean, Honda is Honda, Lamborghini is Lamborghini, Kia is Kia. All
That's
great.
their own lane.
Yeah, they all great cars. They will get you to the final destination. There's nothing wrong with them. But if Kia is going to claim to be Lamborghini, I think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not saying that Outbound is a Lamborghini, is Kia and Apollon is Lamborghini. That's not what I mean. But you understand? I mean, there is a difference. I tried the product. I tried the pre-workout. It felt okay. It felt good. But to say that it's a strong, hardcore pre-workout, I think it's wrong. I think it's definitely misleading. And I know that a lot of brands are throwing around things like the strongest, the best tasting, and whatnot.
Always, yeah.
That shit has to stop. And it has to stop for me. The main reason for that is that you're treating your customers as if they are idiots. They're not. I mean, granted, there are idiots in every industry, including customers, including brand owners, and etc. But you can't. You have to be a little bit more respectful to your customers. Like I'm the first one to say, Apollon, specifically pre-workouts, are not for everyone. We're not trying to make products for beginners. Even though I think, like on Half a Scoop Hooligan or Half a Scoop Assassin, you can definitely get away being a beginner, but at the same time get probably more than an average pre-workout. So there are benefits to it. But at the same time, stay in your own lane. Stay in your own. Don't try to step on anyone's territory. And when I saw that it's the strongest high stim pre-workout, obviously, I checked out the video.
Yeah.
He did say, Mike said in the video, that it's the strongest he tried or whatever, non-DMHA, non-exotic pre-workout. I'm like thinking to myself, hold on, what about Hooligan? Because that doesn't have anything.
No exotics.
Doesn't even have Alpha Yo.
No. Whereas the Outbound does, doesn't it? I think it has 3 milligrams of it. Am I wrong?
Oh, does it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it has nothing. From the stimulant perspective, all it has 2 types of caffeine. That's it.
Oh, okay then.
Focus. It's very strong on pump, but that's pretty much it. So you want to tell me, if I give a full serving of Hooligan and a full serving of that pre-workout to an average person, that's going to be the strongest? Because a 9 out of 10, I want to say 10 out of 10, but I'm going to say 9 out of 10 to be modest, will pick Hooligan. I'm not talking about the best or you know, overall pre-workout, but Hooligan's going to have pump, which Outbound pre-workout doesn't. It doesn't have any pump ingredients. Only going to give you more energy for sure. I mean, so 2 out of 3, we are beating them.
Yeah.
And I mean it on a hardcore perspective, from a hardcore point of view. Maybe you're going to feel like that pre-workout is better for you. So be it. No arguments from me. But to say that him, I mean, now you're exaggerating. I mean, and granted, it's Mike who was doing the review. Looking at Mike, doesn't look like he's been to the gym very often.
You know, some of these channels just don't want to talk about certain brands, do they?
That's the thing, though. We spoke to these guys, and we have been asked by quite a lot of people to get reviews done on their products, but they're obviously not willing to send it out to an honest review channel. It's not really here in the UK anyway, to be fair, so we can't comment too much on it. But if we ever do get our hands on it, then we'll still give it an honest review. So that's an open invitation to them, really.
Yeah.
It's just, I understand what infomercial means. So if you were to ask me, Rob, can you give us $500 or $1,000 and we're going to sell your pre-workout or whatnot, I only understand. Like, you know what? But there are ways for you to sell it without lying.
Yeah, in the title.
Without like going over the top. And obviously when I saw it, I made a post about it. I didn't make a post, actually just posted it in the stories, but clearly it exploded. And the way I posted about it wasn't aggressive. It wasn't attacking. It wasn't anything. It obviously got under my skin. I don't regret posting it. And then had to go and get nasty and respond by accusing, Apollon of using illegal substances. Well, now we are talking garbage. Now we are making accusations. Now we're being even more dishonest because we don't. If we did, Assassin would only have DMA in it. Doesn't. As soon as DMA was banned, Assassin removed DMA. Now, do we have ingredients that are, so to speak, gray area? Yes, we do. Why? Because we can. And why?
Exactly.
If there are ways around the system, I think everybody will do it. And because they gray area ingredients, which are not really legal, but not really illegal either. They're not DMA. They're not ephedrine. We don't put any ephedra products in our products. Why? Because A, they're illegal, and people that are putting ephedra, we know that it's not real ephedra. It's bullshit that has absolutely no ephedrine alkaloids in it. So we do nothing that is illegal. Now you're throwing stones at us, but you just reviewed a product and gave it props by Raw that has area durances and ingredients as such. You just reviewed it and you gave it the best hardcore fat burner or whatever. Hello, Logan?
Apollon don't exist in their heads. But sort of going down that route, what does #brand of the year mean to you?
We see that quite a lot.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, Apollon existed for about 5 or 6 years now. In 5 or 6 years, I never, ever said that we are the best. I never said that we are the best of the year. I never made such claims. I always said that we are most likely the best hardcore brand, which I honestly think we are. We kind of like paved the way to other companies. There are other companies that are hardcore, but are they really like Apollon? Does anyone do anything really like Apollon? It's like basically like Branch Warren said. He said the moment everybody saw Ronnie Coleman, everybody was, gunning for second place because the first one was occupied. And I think that we're holding on to that first place pretty strongly for a few years now. And I'm constantly improving not on products that other people make. I'm constantly improving on products that we make.
Yeah, they don't ever drastically change. They just evolve, don't they?
We don't compete with others. We stay in our own lane. But this year in particular, It's different. Why is it different? Because this year we received, well, number one, we upgraded pretty much and about to upgrade every single product we make.
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides that, we added more flavors to our protein. We added more flavors to Enigma. We added more flavors to Popular Hooligan. We did 2 collaborations so far, and on top of it, we're gonna do more before the end of the year. We did something with Double Impact that I don't believe anyone has ever done before, and that was a huge, huge statement. We also have been doing different products, new products that we've been releasing left and right. And just like I told Shane yesterday, I'm going to be releasing a new product or flavor at least 2 to 3 times a month until the end of the year. My graphic designer actually complained that we are designing so many labels. That's for a race, so we're doing a lot. And if you look at any other brands, who else is making such drastic changes? Who else is releasing as many significant products with significant changes, with significant looks, with such collaborations? I mean, I'm going to actually reveal another something new that it's going to be first time revealed on your channel.
Yes.
We're releasing a barbecue sauce.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's it going to be called? Is it down the Apollon line?
It's going to be down the Apollon line. It's part of Apollon. It's going to be sugar free. It's going to be, athletes friendly. We're releasing that. We're releasing Isolate before the end of the year.
Nice.
Our head, and it's going to be a few flavors. Kumite is going to be completely different product. It's not going to be reformulated, because typically we stick to the same formula. This one's going to look like a completely different product with a different name.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah, it's going to be a completely different name. It's going to be completely different formula. It's not going to be capsules. It's going to be powder form.
Oh, nice.
And we involving pretty much every, if you wanted Vaso 6, we have it now. If you wanted Jaglans Regia, we have it. If you want nitrates, well, guess what? We're going to have nitrates too this year. 50, we're giving you 50-50. You want isolate, we give you isolate as well. 2 pounds, 5 pounds. On every spectrum that you want, we're making significant changes. And Shogun wasn't around for the past 2 or 3 years. We brought it back.
You're listening to people.
Yeah, Hard Target used to be called Warrior, and that's been discontinued 2 or 3 years ago. If you compare the two formulas, they're drastically different. So at the end of the day, if this is not a brand of the year, then who else is? I mean,
it does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, you definitely have people that made great products and and great collaborations. Ghost just recently released Oreo cookie protein. I mean, I tried it. I wasn't a great fan of it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't to my liking, but at the same time, you cannot deny the effort that went into it. I mean, I'm pretty sure this has been probably a year or two in the making, so it's a huge, huge, huge accomplishment that cannot be denied. But at the end of the day, again, overall, I lost count how many products we released. I mean, Resistance, that is something that, completely different from Apollon line. It's a health supplement. But if you look at that immune product, compare it to anyone on the market, and it's going to be like comparing Assassin to every pre-workout on the market.
Yeah, and like the hashtag says, brand of the year means brand of the year, not product of the year. Yeah. So while some other brands have brought out some great products, exactly like you said, they haven't brought out multiple products that would make the brand of the year. So I do think that's the key.
Consistency across the board, eh?
Yeah.
And brand of the year, who awards brand of the year? I mean, you have a few channels that award brand of the year, whether review channels or content channels, whatever. I want to stress that I don't mean brand of the year from a paid channel. That's very, very, very important.
Yeah, 100%.
Number, I wouldn't pay. Number two, they wouldn't award me anyway because I don't pay.
Yeah.
Some channels still pretend like we don't exist. It's fine by me. To me, brand of the year is people's choice.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it's genuine.
They have to acknowledge you. And other than that, I don't think, other than Stacked, Shane's channel, I don't think there is anyone relevant who is a who can award brand of the year. Price Plow clearly is ridiculous. And I do like Fitness Informant. I like Ryan. He does actually pretty good content. Him and Gerhard do an amazing job. But at the end of the day, brand of the year is not something that I want from Fitness Informant. And like I said, no disrespect whatsoever. I just feel like, if it's awarded to one of your customers, because that's who they are, the customers, when they pay for content, I don't think that the award is relevant. It's the same thing as going to a fight and fixing the fight, they basically, throwing the fight. It just, you want to win it rightfully. I work very hard to win it. I work very hard to make sure that it makes sense. And if I lose it, I don't really lose it.
Yeah.
Happen. This year, Apollon made such a huge statement that I don't think anyone else has.
Yeah. That moves us actually nicely onto a juicy question, don't it? So we're very open-minded with all this stuff anyway, so we don't take offence to it at all. But we just wanted to sort of clear the air with our pre-workout competition that we had on Instagram. So obviously you didn't, I don't know if the word is even didn't agree with it, but it didn't sort of fit right with yourself. So I just wanted to sort of hear your thoughts and feelings on that, really, Rob.
Absolutely. Actually, I got a few messages that basically suggested that you and I, your channel, you guys and I had a falling out, and we had a disagreement, or we had a fight, or whatever. And I was sick and tired of saying that it's absolutely 100% not true. Not only that, I ended the channel saying that I think you absolutely should review every fucking product that comes your way, whether it's made safely, of course, because just recently you sent me a product that you were about to review, and I suggested don't review it and don't try it. It was in a bag or something like that. That shit was scary. But at the same time, and I used this analogy before, a movie critic. I'm a movie critic. I mean, I'm an amateur, but I like.
I enjoy your reviews of movies.
I mean, I'm a critic myself. Whatever I watch, I review. Whatever I have time to watch, I review. Am I good? I don't know. It's not for me to judge. I do it as a hobby. It's for other people to judge. But I don't think you can. You can't. It's the same thing as we know that Price Plow doesn't review products. They review products that are paying them, and those reviews are going to be 100% positive. That's a fact. So you can't really say that they're reviewing products. But if you are calling yourself a review channel, I don't think there is anything wrong with making money. And there are ways to make money. And I'm all for anyone to make money who can. If you can come up with a good idea, why not? But there is a respectful way of doing it. Now, going back to reviews, again, I urged you and I defended you about reviewing garbage. And you serious garbage products.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because it gives people options. Now, when you started the whole contest, I honestly was in favor of it. I thought it was a brilliant idea. But at the same time, I totally understand that not everyone loves Assassin. Not everyone loves Hooligan. And I think if we take, for example, Excelsior, like to me personally, that's not a pre-workout. But again, the key word, personally, I don't view it as a pre-workout. This is also a type of pre-workout that, like as Ben suggested, that uses illegal substances, and that's pretty much been proven. Let's could we get the owners of Excelsior or Dark Labs and have a conversation with them? We won't, because they're not gonna have a conversation. They're not gonna show up. They're not gonna have a debate, and for a good reason. The products are manufactured illegally. Plain and simple, they manufactured illegally. You don't know what's in those products. I mean, there are so many things that can quote unquote hit you, but will they give you pump? Will give you the right focus? They mostly will get you high. And perhaps even like I never used Dark Labs products, but I heard that the pre-workouts, some of them are actually pretty good, and I never disagreed with it. But when you're listing VASO-6 as one of the ingredients, I know that every trademark ingredient that I, for example, put in my product, my legit manufacturer, who is FDA inspected facility, GMP, F and whatnot, they sending me paperwork. I have to sign it. The ingredients people have to agree to for me to use those products. Dark Labs did not have VASO-6.
Yeah, I remember that back at the beginning.
Yeah.
It list that they do. I mean, it's a pretty major ingredient, and I know the owner of the ingredient, and he's not one to fuck with, so they actually very, very strict. They're running a tight ship. So when you don't have a major ingredient, but you're listing it, it's a very expensive ingredient. You already that it's a shady operation, so I'm going through hell formulating, going back and forth with quotes and prices and whatnot. And there was a product that actually I formulated 2 days ago, and the manufacturer sent me a letter. He goes, one of the ingredients is kind of 50-50, no pun intended. You should definitely rethink using it. I'm like, you know what, throw it out, fuck it. You know what, I don't issues, I don't want any problems. I'll reformulate it again. So I'm going through this is my daily thing.
Yeah, hard work.
And again, you have followers that are legit athletes and people that using products for performance, and they want the best products. Some of them will choose Assassin, some of them will choose ASC, some of them will choose I don't know, Inspire. Yeah, there's products that it will choose, and some of them will choose Excelsior. And again, I'm not the father, I'm not the mother. I can't tell them what to do. They can use it, no problem. Or Dark Labs. But when I saw that animation that Dark Labs did, basically poking fun at legit companies and saying, well, listen, we actually killed this one and we killed this one. Perhaps you did. Perhaps you had more votes. Good for you. But you're comparing yourself to me. We have a serious, serious issue with that. I cannot compare to you by you because you're not on my level. Not on your level. I don't run an illegal operation. I don't, spike my products. I don't claim to have ingredients that I actually don't have and don't have a license to have. Like, okay, if you guys are being dicks and using my name to increase your popularity, that I cannot agree with. That so I wasn't a crybaby or anything like that, because you know me by now. It's just not my style.
Yeah.
But fuck you. I'm gonna totally ignore you. I don't want to do anything with this because it's just not my. And it's the same thing. A street fighter who fights with no rules outside, to say, oh, look, I'm better than an MMA fighter who is a well-rounded striker, a wrestler, it's just wrong. There are people who love street fighting with bare knuckles and breaking hands and whatnot and blood all over. But there are also martial artists who actually work very, very hard, hiring jiu-jitsu coaches, hiring boxing coaches, Muay Thai, wrestling coaches, and they work around. And then you have two brawlers that brawl outside with no whatnot, calling them out, and they saying, you know what, let's go. There was a guy who used to come to Apollon, and he worked as a private security, and he was security actually for Chuck Liddell when Chuck Liddell was in his prime in UFC. And he said that Chuck Liddell came to New Jersey, and UFC hired this security team just to be around him because he was so popular. So Chuck Liddell went to a restaurant by himself, and he's eating food, and this drunk guy comes up to security and goes like, I want to get a photo or autograph or something. And Chuck Liddell, from what I understand, is a nice guy. He goes, yeah, absolutely, not a problem at all. But the guy was a jerk. So he goes, Chuck, you and me right now. I'm sure I can knock you the fuck out. And maybe if he sucker punched him or something, maybe he would knock him out. I mean, anyone can get knocked out. And Chuck Liddell goes, no, thank you. He goes, "Oh, come on, you scared? You're a pussy. You know, you don't want to go against me." And he actually shouted him. He pushed him. And Chuck just got up. He didn't even finish his food, and he goes, "I'm leaving." And the security guys just kept the guy away from him. And the guy kept screaming in a bar full of people, "Chuck Liddell, you're a pussy. You're afraid to fight me. You're afraid this and that." I mean, Chuck Liddell probably would demolish him.
Yeah.
But he decided to get up and leave and not to be involved with a drunk wannabe who thinks who can, maybe he knocked out somebody in a bar fight that he can take out an elite fighter.
Mm.
So, I'm for those that think that I'm mad at you because of the contest, I want to stress again, absolutely 100% no.
Mm.
I'm not mad even at Dark Labs or Excelsior. I disagree with the way they do business. I think especially Excelsior is ripping people off. I think it's a dishonest product, but that's my personal opinion and I'm entitled to it. But at the same time, I don't want to be compared to them. I mean, I can control what other people do, and I've seen like people comparing Assassin to Excelsior. Again, it's not in my power. There is nothing I can do about it, you know. But at the same time, does not mean that I want to be participating in the same kind of look. You don't have to ask for my permission. You can still throw my name in it, and there can be a competition. You were very, very respectful to my wish. I asked you nicely, and you granted me that, and I appreciate that. But again, I don't think you did anything wrong. I just think certain people that won or beat me, I think handled it very, very unprofessionally. But then again, when you're dealing with somebody who is running an illegal, shady operation, do you really feel like, do you think that they're going to play by the rules? No. So wanted their 5 minutes of fame. They got it. They beat Assassin. Good for them. Again, people that know, I have my customers, they have theirs.
Yeah, 100%. And for anyone that was messaging us as well, we always said that we should respect your opinion on that. We agree with it to a degree, and that's why there's different weight categories in fighting. I think things have to be separated up. So potentially, if we do it again in the future, we'll have an illegal tournament and an above board tournament, something along those lines. So we completely understood. And for anyone watching, quite obviously, we're still friends. So
hopefully that clears that up.
Whatsoever. I just like I said, even when you and I we were sending each other messages. I mean, we send each other messages on a regular basis. You laughing at it, but I was like, okay, guys, you really have to go there. You really have to, because like, if for example I win anything, I mean, it's like receiving an Oscar. You thank a bunch of people, you're grateful for the recognition, and you walk away. You still stay classy about it. That's the reason why I always said, like, you never see me saying Assassin is the best pre-workout in the world, or Hooligan is, because it's not. If you want Stim Junkie, underground, shady, spiked product, I mean, go with crack, no pun intended, or go something. I don't know what you do. It's up to you. I cannot control people. If you want something beginner that tastes good, I mean, probably C4 is not a bad choice.
Yeah,
it's all person dependent.
It's like saying, what's your favorite type of food? What's your favorite car? Everyone's going to do something different.
It's about what you can afford. It's about what your needs are, and that's about it. But I mean, I have no problem with people buying other products. But the thing is that the consumer is not stupid. If you're saying that this is the best pre-workout on the market, best according to who?
Yeah, exactly. There is no best. We've always said that.
Always.
I had a conversation recently with a person that we didn't really see eye to eye before, so we actually wanted to clear things up, and I'm glad we did. And that's Jeff Long of like a Pro Supplements, and it was heated maybe for a split second. After that, we talked about it, and he really believes in his supplements, and I respect that. And he believes in what he does, and he puts a lot of money into his supplements too. He's a small business. He definitely puts a lot of ingredients, high and stuff like that, and he tries to make the best supplements for his customers. But customers, I mean, we might compete on a protein level, to a degree. But other than that, people that buy Apollon are not going to buy like a Pro. And if they buy like a Pro, most likely not going to buy Hooligan or Assassin. And that's okay. But respectful, we can still recognize that we do good things, that we try to put out good products, even if, we have different opinions or maybe different markets or maybe different approaches. It doesn't mean you have to be a dick about it. It's completely unnecessary. You can still be respectful. And I think that's what's lacking in the industry. And people making these crazy claims, I have the best tasting protein. Says who?
Yeah, exactly. Did everyone in the world try it?
We were talking about, I think, NutraBio and Outbound. I would be more than open, and I said it numerous times, to go to a gym anywhere, not a Apollon gym, any gym, and do a blind taste. They have chocolate protein, and we have chocolate protein. If you want to have a friendly competition, who has the best tasting one, let's go. We're not anyone. We're just gonna, it's gonna be a blind test. Let's do 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, and let's see who honestly wins. And if you win, if you beat me, you're only gonna get a handshake and congratulations from me. That's the only thing you're gonna get. They're not gonna beat me.
Very confident.
That'll have to happen one day, definitely.
Confidence. And the same thing, like, with Outbound pre-workout. If Mike from Price Plow thinks that that's the strongest stim-based non-DMHA pre-workout, okay, let's go. Hooligan is that product, and let's see who's going to get high faster and on what product. I was okay with it, but if you think that you have a product with 40 or 50 milligram of paradoxin, and it's going to feel the same thermogenic effect as 200 milligram of paradoxin, like Shogun has, you're greatly mistaken. Because and I'm not even talking about stimulants. I'm just talking, you're going to be sweating your ass off. So if you're going to go and make a statement, oh, I have the best thermogenic on the market, really? Because I can't handle a full dose of Shogun. I need
very strong.
Yeah.
Very, very strong.
Yeah.
Stop sweating. Make claims that are, because it's not me who's going to come after you. It's the customer eventually who's going to come after you because of your lies.
Yeah,
exactly.
Target specific customer group or target specific market, stay with that market, grow that market. I mean, we started with Assassin, Hooligan, and our market, and 50-50 protein, and we had a tiny little market, tiny. So we didn't deviate from the plan because people were saying, "Oh, Hooligan is too strong." We didn't go and reformulate it to make it weaker to compete with C4. We stuck to what we do, and we tried our best to explore that market and to grow that market, and we did. That in that specific market, nobody can beat us. And numbers speak for themselves, and the brand popularity speaks for itself. And what we achieved in the last 5-6 years, that speaks for itself. But I'm not trying to go and say I'm better than C4, because Hooligan is more packed than C4, but their numbers speak for themselves. They're killing it all over the world. Probably number one pre-workout in sales all over the world. So who is there to? But they're not trying to to be Hooligan. It's not that. They're not screaming we have the best pre-workout on the market. They probably have the best selling pre-workout on the market, though. So $1 billion business, they're doing phenomenal. So for me to go and say, oh, look, Hooligan is better than C4, it's not. It's different. I'm going to stick to, but in that group, I doubt anyone can beat us. So it's your honesty and your transparency that will win over the customers.
Exactly. And you're not the one making any of these big claims. If anything, it's your customers that are giving you this title. Apollon are the most hardcore, Assassin's the strongest. It's the customers saying these things.
Yeah, but even look at the review channels. I always had great relationship with TJ. I actually would go as far as saying he's a good friend of mine. I had great relationship with you always. You guys and TJ never gave Assassin love when it comes to taste. scored very, very poorly. Well, until the last one.
Yeah, I was going to say this one tastes good.
Yeah.
I never picked up the phone or anything like that, and we never had a fight. I was never nasty to you or anything like that. But why would I? I thought I shit.
Exactly. It become part of it, wasn't it? It was the whole fuck flavour scenario.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I have to thank TJ for it because he kind of like, from a marketing perspective, he turned it around and basically said "fuck flavors." Like, okay,
Yeah.
well, let's go with it. That's actually pretty clever. I never argued it. On a price point. You always gave it a very low ranking, but you did go out of your way to explain that it's really not that bad when you factor all the ingredients and how bad it is.
You can take half a scoop, etc., etc.
So I never argued. I never went and said, like, look, you know what? Let me attack Review Brothers because they're lying or because they're not saying something I want them to say. Clearly, I would like you to say that Assassin, the previous versions, taste phenomenal. Clearly, I would like you to say that it's very well priced and very cheap and affordable for everyone. But none of those things are true. So why would I?
Yeah.
Say, like, hey, you know what? They said it's strong. It is strong. They said it works. It does work. They gave it performance 10 out of 10. It is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But gave it taste like 3 out of 10 or something like, well, 3 is better than 2. We're not as good as 4, but it is what it is. They express their opinion.
Yeah, taste is the least important anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Workout, and you know what? And every time somebody reaches out, how does Assassin taste? Which one is the better flavor? I don't give a fuck, and I don't know. I did try to go out of my way to make this Assassin better tasting. I think we succeeded.
Yeah.
Still doesn't taste amazing. There are far, far better tasting pre-workouts. But if you compare it to a previous all Assassins,
they've all gone up, haven't they?
And when you consider the ingredients you're asking, not to mention, lion's mane at a gram, that's no easy task, is it?
I would have a problem if somebody said our Enigma tastes bad, because Enigma. I would have a problem if somebody said our protein tastes bad, because our protein definitely tastes phenomenal. Pre-workouts, least of my concern. I'm going to always try my best to make it taste as good as humanly possible. But I mean, like Craig said, I mean, with those ingredients, lion's mane 1,000. We just had. I'll share this with you. So we just talked to the manufacturer about Hooligan, right? And Hooligan always had, well, not always, the last one had 1,000 milligram of lion's mane. And the guy he flavored it. He gives me and Karolina to try, and we try it. I'm like, fuck, it tastes amazing. It's really tastes delicious. So he goes to me, well, what I did was I tried with 250 milligram of lion's mane. I'm like, what? No, 1,000.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You won't compromise the effect for the taste.
So he goes to me, yeah, but it's not going to taste as good, like 1,000.
No compromise.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be accused of cutting corners or anything like that. It's not going to taste as good. I said, well, fuck it. I said, I don't care. He let us try with 1,000. It didn't taste as good. Just those 700 milligram completely fucked up the taste. So we're going to go actually next Wednesday and we're going to try it again. They're going to try to make it, taste better. But I'm not going to compromise it for the taste. I'm sure that Hooligan is Hooligan and nothing else.
Yeah. I actually want to just say that I've really enjoyed the podcast so far. I want to throw a spotlight on someone myself and Craig really respect. She was amazing when we came over to America, showed us the sites effectively. And that is Karolina. Just tell us a little bit about her and the role she has, obviously, at Apollon.
Well, I mean, you guys, you visited us 2 years ago, and back then she was our VP. I mean, she was basically, so to speak, second in command. But, jokingly, everybody says she's the real boss. You know what? The part that she played in Apollon Gym and Apollon Nutrition is so significant in the past, I think, close to 10 years. In every aspect. I mean, both the gym, nutrition, they could not function without her. So to say that she is absolutely instrumental, often people associate with the brand. Well, I think she plays just as important role, if not more important in some aspect. As you know, she's the one, she deals with UK with Herbert, and she handles everything. It's not even me. You know, very often she speaks to you. She handles so many parts of the operation. She's involved in negotiation product process right now. She's even kind of getting to formulas now. So she's involved in that. She started learning about formulas and whatnot. She's our model. She's our athlete. She plays a, yes. This would be um, maybe an appropriate time to say that, not a breaking news. Karolina is a co-owner of Apollon. As of last year, she's part owner and definitely no longer VP. She's our partner, and we think that it's well deserved, and we couldn't be any happier because I think she is a pawn. She's probably more pawn than I am.
She fits the brand down to a T.
Yeah, very good.
I think she is like piece of a puzzle that is. I think that not just instrumental, but such a huge part of our success that it cannot be denied.
Yeah. Well done, Karolina. Really good.
And,
very good.
I think you've already touched on this, Rob, in some ways, but what secrets and new products can you reveal today?
Well, secret number one, it's not really a product, but Apollon All-Star Seminar is coming up October 23rd. We are trying to release products for that too, because traditionally that was the case, except the one that you came to. We didn't make it, but so here's an official invitation for you guys to join us one more time. Well, Mr. Boris, the fucking dickhead, will be.
We just got our fingers crossed here. We do.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you in October. In terms of products, I pretty much gave it away by saying that every product is being reformulated. So, Chaos officially sold out. We actually sold out of Chaos, I think, a month ago. Never really made it official that new Chaos is coming out. There's not old version. This Chaos is going to be better.
Yeah.
Again, we're sticking to the same principle, where it's going to be the same core, but slightly improved. Hooligans being reformulated. The formula is done. We thinking that it's going to be released before the end of the year. Kumite is being released end of the year, and like I said, it's going to be a completely different product as well. Obviously, Isolate. And we're working right now on a couple of tweaks on a creatine, because the creatine market is definitely very, very tough right now, with creatine monohydrate costing as much trademark Create Pure. It's so we're going to make some tweaks to make it even a better product. There is obviously the barbecue sauce, which I already said. Working on more health supplements as well, so resistance is not going to be by itself. There's going to be more added to that line. And the main thing is yes, there are going to be a few collaborations also before the end of the year. But the question that didn't come up is Double Impact.
Yeah.
So Double Impact has been very, very tricky because it's extremely expensive product to manufacture. You obviously have an assassin combined in one. And I still refuse to say that Double Impact is part of a Apollon line, because it's not. And we have to emphasize it, because why would I have Hooligan Assassin and then a Hooligan and Assassin?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's a very unique concept, but the demand's been through the roof. When I say I get requests for it on a daily basis,
even we see loads of comments about it.
Yeah.
I do get requests for it on a daily basis. It's not finalized 100%, but I can say that Double Impact is being worked on. So more than likely, fingers crossed, with all the ingredients and everything, it's going to be released one more time.
Awesome.
That's good news for everyone that couldn't get their hands on it or wants another one.
But it's not going to be the same version.
Oh, okay.
This one also is going to be reformulated, and I don't think it's going to be too much of a challenge to figure out why it's going to be reformulated. Yeah, so we expect that very high possibility Double Impact is going to make an appearance this year.
Awesome. On the brand of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I said to Shane, and without being overly cocky or arrogant, I'm just stating that brand of the year is mine. It's definitely Apollon's this year. And but again, every product reformulated. New products, we're probably adding about 5 to 10. I don't even know how many. And pretty much every product gets a new flavor as well, sometimes 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And if everything goes well and Double Impact will be released this year, then you're getting one product released V1 and V in the same year.
That's crazy.
I said to you before, I don't know how you keep up with it all.
Lots of stress.
No sleep, basically.
When you love something you do, it's just like you guys are releasing all the videos and stuff like that. You can see when somebody's passionate about it.
Yeah.
You can see wannabes, and you can see when somebody's passionate about it. TJ is a very, very successful man, and he does this because he's very passionate about it. You can agree or disagree with him; it doesn't really matter. But he really, really likes it. Just like you have Lucas. Lucas loves supplements.
Yeah.
He lives supplements. That he watches all the podcasts, he watches all the reviews. But this is his passion. When you're passionate about something and you like something, then it's not really what
happen. Yeah, 100%. Do you? Another question we got is, can you sort of touch on the relationship Branch Warren's got with Apollon, your partnership?
Oh, yeah.
Like I said a few times earlier this year, we were not planning on signing any athletes. I just didn't feel that there is need for one. I also had very bad experiences, and this is not, hinting or anything at anyone. I'm not necessarily saying that the ones that we signed prior, or it's nothing like that. I mean that I've seen with even other brands. I even seen athletes that would reach out to me and quote unquote kiss my ass and suck up to me. But when I said no, or maybe we'll talk later or something like that, the attitude changed from professional to very unprofessional. And while there was a possibility of perhaps something going on with Apollon, the text messages would come back and forth nonstop. When there was little possibility or no possibility at all, I would not get a message back or anything like that. So very unprofessional. With Branch, it was quite different. I thought that he was with Caged. I've seen a couple of videos here and there. I've known him when he was with Gaspari. I can't say that we were friends or anything like that, but just ran into him a couple of times. And then when I found out that he was a free agent, I looked into the fact that he still trains like a fucking maniac. So it's not like somebody who retired and went from 250 pounds to 150 pounds and looks like
exactly
Mike from Price Plow or something. The guy still trains like a beast, like an absolute beast, and I'm speaking from experience. I watched and experienced it myself. Number two, he has the same demeanor. He still eats like a bodybuilder too. Old shows. He has Wicked Cuts business, which also has to do with protein, meat, and the industry, so to speak.
Yeah.
Very much involved in everything that is bodybuilding. He still trains in Metroflex. He's with Gasp, and I think he's going to be with Gasp until he's 80. I don't think anyone represents that brand better than him. He basically helped build that brand, and we got into conversation. There wasn't nothing concrete. We just spoke on the phone, and he asked me to send him some products. I sent him some products. He really liked him. No surprise, he liked Hooligan and Assassin, and it fits his personality.
Yeah.
It's his level of training and everything else. He liked it a lot. We talked, and it just kind of everything clicked. But then, he's been with us now for a number of months. I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months or whatnot. And I can see the brand awareness is better. He has great chemistry and relationship with me, Karolina, and the entire team. He posts and comments on a regular basis. He's a team player. If we need him to do something, all it takes is a phone call or a text message, and it's done. And one thing that I like the most is the punctuality. He is always on time. If he's going to be at 10 a.m., or he's going to call you at 10 a.m., he's going to figure out the time difference between us and Texas. He's going to call you at 10 a.m. I never had a missed call from him, not once. And, we were at Metroflex 3-4 days ago. And when we left, he actually texted us. He says, I'm going to be a couple of minutes late. There is, traffic. He says, and he apologized. And we were supposed to meet at 11 a.m. He showed up like 11:05. And that was the only time he was late, but he apologized ahead of time that he's going to be late. And since then, we even had a running joke where Karolina said, we have to be on time because, he's going to be there waiting for us.
Yeah, we'll be there before you.
To me, is huge. That level of act is huge. He really cares about the brand. He wants to grow with the brand. And so far, it's been an outstanding relationship. And I actually told him something that when we went to a shooting range a few days ago, I said to him, you know what? The funny thing I said is Karolina dislikes most bodybuilders. She thinks they lazy, arrogant, in love with themselves, etc., etc. I said, I haven't seen her respecting somebody, from the sport the way she respects you.
That's awesome.
And he goes, you know what? To me, that's a huge compliment. He says, especially coming from her. And important, when you have somebody on your team that it's easy to work with, that's it. Because I want everything to be, like Craig mentioned, doing so many formulas, doing so many products, working around the clock. It's not easy.
No.
But when you're enjoying it and it's simple, or people that you work with make it,
you've got a good team around you, sort of thing.
It's really not that stressful. Everything can be done, and it's not much of a challenge. So I think the collaboration with brands so far has been outstanding, and I'm hoping that this is going to go on for a long time. He just fits Apollon, and Apollon I think fits branch.
He seems like an absolute class act. And Aaron, do you want to finish off with the last juicy question before we start wrapping up?
Yeah, so just regarding obviously Price Plow, we know you've got your differences with Price Plow. What about only because we've heard things on the grapevine in the past, they might not be true at all. What's your feelings now on Fitness Informant and Supplements Noob?
It's no secret that Ryan and I were not very friendly towards each other. It was actually a lot worse than with Price Plow. But with Price Plow, I disagree, and I told that to Ben when he tried to be brave. I had to put him in his place and saying, I dislike what they do. I don't agree with what they do. I think it's wrong. I think it's shady. I think it's corrupted, and they're full of shit. With Fitness Informant, Ryan made actually a few posts that I respect, where he said, yes, I do get paid by the brands to do content and whatnot. That I agree with everything that Ryan does. But you see, the thing is that when you step forward and you admit certain things, when you classy, he reaches out to me often. I reach out to him often. We have a very good relationship. I think it's mutually respectful to each other. But I don't have issues with him just because he stepped up. And even now, he will say, he doesn't necessarily like very high stem products, but it's his personal opinion. He doesn't say they did. In fact, he gave, I think, Hooligan #1 spot last year, as the best hardcore pre-workout, we did not pay him for that. That was
Mm.
price. So he acknowledges our existence. He gives us props. He said great things about our protein, and how it tastes. I still disagree with the whole, brand of the year award and whatnot, just because, you can't award one of your customers a brand of the year. I'm sorry, just I can't agree with it. And if I said that I'm okay with it, then I'd be lying. I think that there are ways to improve Fitness Informant as a channel. I definitely think that Ryan overall, I think, improved the channel quite significantly in the last 2 years. And I think he's more open-minded than he used to be. But it's still not exactly a format that I 100% agree with. Uh,
Yeah,
but then again, it's just
that's
a
fair.
and it doesn't really matter because it's his business, it's his livelihood, and he's entitled to do whatever he feels right. He
Mm.
disagrees with certain things that I do too, which is also fine. But at least, like I said, we are respectful to each other and we are friendly to each other. He might be
Mm.
coming to All Star Seminar, and I would love to have him. That would be an honor. He is quite, known personality in the industry. So agree or disagree, at least I can say that at the moment and for the past, year or so, it's been a good relationship based on mutual respect. He also loves movies, so there is definitely that connection. Um, in terms of supplements, Snoop, I think that Justin is very respectful to me. He is. There were certain things that I disagreed with him, and there are certain things that he disagrees with me. Probably, but for example, he was doing a podcast with Ben from Price Law, and that didn't sit well with me. I never denied that, But the thing is like what I like about Justin, and I mean like a lot, is the fact that he is very involved with the industry. He's very passionate about the industry, and sometimes when I need to pick his brain or to ask him a question, which I never feel like, I'm uncomfortable asking a question. I don't think it's beneath me. If I believe that you are an expert in a certain field, then I'll respect that. It's fine. Every time I had a question for Justin, he was there to answer it right on the
Awesome.
absolutely, no questions asked. When we disagreed on certain things, we would get on the phone and we would talk about it, and it would be resolved always. He's the first one who actually sent me a screenshot of the fact that he bought a ticket already to New Jersey to come to the seminar, which is also, I'm honored that he does. He also introduced me to Jacob, the owner of the nutrition store, and
Yeah.
our products are doing phenomenal there. He became a good friend of mine. And again, we all make mistakes, and it's how we handle them. That's what matters. I think that it's inevitable that you will fuck up in life. Maybe fuck up is a bit of a strong word, but Justin was doing a podcast with Man with Price Plow, and now he doesn't, and that's to me is huge.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
huge. I went like, okay, I don't like the channel. I don't respect the channel. I used to work with him. Now I don't work with him. So when you can call on somebody's bullshit, that's huge in my book. I'm all about, fixing our mistakes. I fuck up probably on a daily basis. It's how I handle it. That's what matters. How I
Mm.
own that's what matters. It's not about, just being defensive and like, oh, you're wrong. Oh, no, I'm not. Yes, you can be wrong. Just, think about it. Perhaps just like the situation with Excelsior and your contest, I hope I cleared things up because, now
Yeah.
every where I was coming from, I wasn't bitter about losing. It was something different. And I think that I explained it rather well. So with Justin, I have a good relationship. I'm glad he's coming to the seminar. We actually have a very friendly relationship. I'm glad he's doing a podcast with Robert again. Those two have very good chemistry, and even when it came to Ghost, he liked Oreo protein. I didn't, but we presented it in a mutually respected way, and that's it. Justin also helped actually grow our peanut butter cookie protein tremendously, because he hyped it up through the roof that it's one of my favorite proteins, and of course I'm grateful for that. He also went on to explain certain things about Apollon products that people did not understand to his audience. Again, no payment was made. No, I didn't even ask him for it.
Yeah.
But he did it. So again, I'm nothing against them. I mean, if somebody's good to me, I'll go out of my way to be good to you, and everything can be resolved through a conversation. Saying that, I will go and say 99.99% never see Apollon collaborating with Price Plow. The reason I left margin, because we did collaborate with them a couple of years ago, but it was a different channel. I think that they so far uh, in a dark place right now as a corrupted channel and dishonest channel that is just milking money, that I think they doomed. I don't think anything can happen. They went so far. But on the other hand, the money they are making, I'm pretty sure, very, very significant, because obviously we all in the same industry. So I heard some things and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked at how much money they're making. And my only advice, not that my advice matters, because I mean, I'm just the owner of a small brand, but my advice is to brands that have any self-respect is not to do any business with Price Plow. Is because if you make good, honest product, your product will speak for itself. And there are so many reputable channels, good channels, that will review your product. And why would you be afraid to send your product to Fitness Deal News or Review Brothers or even Ari? I mean, why would you be afraid? You don't have to pay.
Mm.
Okay, and I actually posted about Ari today, and I said I'm not scared to send my products to anyone. I know exactly what I'm sending. I know I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Definitely.
Yeah, the fact that maybe Assassin and Hooligan not going to score great when it comes to taste, but that's fine. I know that I'm sending a good, honest, fully dosed, fully transparent product, and if it's one of our aminos or protein, I know it's going to taste also phenomenal. It's going to mix phenomenal. So why should I be worried? I don't have to.
Yeah.
Should I pay you to lie? It's not that I'm being cheap. It's not that I'm trying to save. It's not that. That's not.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
Just don't need to do it. And I
it
think
makes you look bad if you do. Really.
same thing as if you guys are going to come up with a word best protein or best pre-workout or whatever, if I have to send you a check to do it and everybody knows about it, then the credibility of my win is out the window. I think I'm hurting myself more than anything.
Yeah.
100%. And win, then it's great. If you're going to say that I lost to C4, Hooligan lost to C4, you're not going to hear me complain ever. Especially if it's going to be based on popularity, they're going to kick my ass. I'm not a chance. The average consumer doesn't even know what Hooligan is. But if you're going to say, I lost to, I don't know, like Outbound or something like that, as a hardcore pre-workout, well, it's something,
Yeah, I agree.
So, Price Plow will never get respect from me. Ben, I actually told him in messages, I used to like him. I really dislike him. And I told him he's on the verge of me really, really hating him. And at that point, Price Plow was an amazing channel when they used to have CJ and Robert. But when you have people like Robert not there anymore, even Heather recently, all of a sudden she was there for a few months and she's gone too. That says a lot. And I have great relationship with her. Very, very, even though she's with X and Slash, doesn't really matter. You can still be respectful to each other.
Definitely.
At the end of the day, it's just like there are certain channels that just I advise people to stay away from because they're not going to get credible information.
Yeah. Rob, thank you so much for your time today. Obviously, it's always been a pleasure. Hope everyone watching enjoys this. And obviously, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the products that come out from Apollon Nutrition for the next year. And even if we have to get a couple of canoes and row ourselves over to the seminar, then that's what we'll probably do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in a few months.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
speak to you soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.